guys. So it's actually my birthday today and I am experiencing some real birthday blues, let's say that. I have had a lot of deep thoughts today about how to handle change and grief, and instead of crying in my bed, I thought I would do stuff that makes me happy and stay stable, and also share my experiences and tips on how to handle change as someone who really hates change, and also how I handle grief. As the beginning of this video, I would like to say that I am very grateful for everyone who has celebrated my birthday, and I am in no way shading on anyone. And I feel very much gratitude, but I also just want to point out that you are allowed to feel sad, you are allowed to feel disappointed, you are entitled to your feelings, no matter what day of the year it is. Personally, I always feel like birthdays are meant to be such a happy day, and when they aren't, I feel sort of guilty about it. But yeah, what to expect from this video is training, daily quests, and a lot of yapping. That is the main point of this video. I'm wearing pink because it's my favorite color and it brings me joy, and we are training my new American saddlebred Ruby. I also noticed that the bows are kind of crooked on their backs, like, don't know what's that about. I am very zoomed in for some reason, I'm sorry, I'd fix that. So I'm gonna start off by saying I belong in the not neurotypical, I don't know how to say that. I'm in the spectrum, let's just say that. I am not autistic, but I have this condition that's called like hypersensitivity or something like that. I know what's the name of it is in my native language, but I'm unsure of what it's called in English. But basically what it means is that I feel normal emotions very strongly, and I seek comfort, because oftentimes normal sounds, normal lights, normal everything just takes so much power from me, and I feel exhausted by the end of the day. My life has been filled with a lot of changes recently. For the past few years, my life turned upside down, and birthdays are always like a hard day for me because they tie into my childhood, and then I expect things from them. I expect feelings of happiness and excitement from them, and then when I don't, I feel sad. I do not want to turn this video into a pity party for me, don't get me wrong. Things could be so much worse. Things can always be worse, but I don't want that to invalidate mine or anyone else's feelings. So just know that I am grateful, but I'm still gonna bring some stuff up and how I handle stuff. Birthdays were something I celebrated with my best friend and also with my family, and a lot of stuff including that have changed. If you have watched some of my videos, I might have mentioned that my best friend and love of my life passed away. I always struggle to find happiness in the days that I used to spend with them. My relationship with my father has also taken a deep dive, and this is the first birthday where he has completely ignored me. He hasn't wished me happy birthday, he hasn't acknowledged me at all. TBH, I even doubt that he remembers that it's my birthday, and that's fine, but that just relates on the change aspect, I suppose. But I didn't just want to rant about my feelings or problems or anything like that. I wanted this to be kind of a video that has tips and some of the things that has helped me through life, even as a person who hates change but has been forced to live in a constant state of change. So what I have noticed about myself is, because my life has changed a lot in ways I cannot control, I tend to be a control freak in the little aspects that I can, and I also have some factors that bring me comfort which I am very obsessed over. This might sound weird to a normal ear, but for example, my room is kind of my safe space. It's where I spend most of my days, it's where I found comfort, and I have decorated my room to show off my personality. It is my little safe space, let's just say that, and I really struggle when people I don't know very well come into my room, because this sounds so stupid when I say it, but I kind of have this idea that my room is like a safe bubble almost. It has this certain aura in it, and then it gets broken if I let someone outside the bubble there. That also kind of ties into why I play Star Stable. I turned 20 today, and many 20-year-olds have given up their childhood games, and I have of course given up some of my childhood games, but I also feel like I didn't get to live my childhood in some ways, so I find comfort in this game. This game is kind of an escape window for me. It's where things are okay. Jorvik is the place where I escaped as a child, and it's a place where I escape as an adult, and I do not feel ashamed that I do that. Then I also have this one series that I have watched, I can't even tell you how many times. This is like my obsession. That is Modern Family. I have watched every single episode like thousands of times because I discovered Modern Family when I was, let me think. I think I was 9. No, not 9. Older than that, maybe 11. And since then I have just watched it every single day. I have a TV in my room and it always plays Modern Family. That is something that's non-negotiable. Now that I sound very weird and off-putting to every single one of you, I can maybe start giving some tips. I will try to start from the change aspect and I will move on to the grief aspect later, because I feel like the change part is what most people can rely on. If you are lucky enough, you do not have to experience very much grief in young days. We all feel grief, of course, but maybe a loss of someone is something you don't have to experience. I hope you don't. But change is inevitable. Everything's gonna change whether you like it or not, and I feel often trapped by the way life goes. I would like some things to just stay the same forever, and when they don't, I get thrown back into the reality real bad, and then I get a panic attack. But there are certain things that won't change, and you need to find comfort in those. And now, this is something that is extremely important that you need to understand. The one thing you will always have, no matter what, is yourself. And that may sound weird or exhausting if you are battling with self-hatred or a bunch of insecurities, but when you find comfort in yourself, you are already in a very good place, because no one will take yourself away from you. You are the one person that is gonna stick with you no matter what. So when you find a safe place in your mind, in your brain, in the way you think, in the way you act, that is gonna help you so much. I am not saying I am very good at this. I still sometimes feel trapped because sometimes I hate myself. As terrible as that sounds, that is normal. We do experience feelings of hatred towards ourselves, even though that's a terrible thing, because we should always love ourselves first. You cannot give your heart out to anyone else if you don't cherish it yourself. But when you start to make yourself as a person you feel comfortable being, you start to be more okay with change. Other things is that let yourself feel comfort in things that aren't necessarily socially acceptable. For example, I watch Barbie movies, I play Star Stable, and I'm a 20-year-old woman, so many people might think that that's weird AF, but that is none of their business. What I do nights when I rewind and when I kind of release the stress of the day, that is no one else's business. So if your place of comfort is something that doesn't fit in your age group or something like that, it doesn't really matter. Don't care what other people think. Because when I have had a stressful day in school and I want to go home to train my pixel horses, that doesn't take anything away from anyone. It just gives me power to go on. And I'm not saying my life is like powered by movies and games. It's just maybe something that you guys also relate on. And I used to rely my life very much on other people. They were the ones that I held close because they were the ones that I also felt like it's not gonna change. And then they were taken from me in a blink of an eye, and suddenly she wasn't there. So I struggled to find the comfort of like not changing in other people, because I have this constant fear of every single person I care about leaving me or like, you know, dying. So I don't really like find that much comfort. But my little sister, for example, is someone that I cherish very much along other people. But when I spend time with her, when we play Minecraft together or something, I feel this glimpse of joy from my childhood, and that's what keeps me sane. She's also my sister. She's the closest person I have right now, and I feel like she's one of the person I trust not to go away. Then there of course are accidents and stuff like that happen to people, which kind of makes me spiral. I can't really think of that because it will make me physically sick if I do. I cannot imagine losing my sister. My boyfriend is also a staple in my life. I never want him to go away either. I feel like I kind of lost track there. But what I'm trying to say is that find things that don't need to change and rely on them. Rely on yourself, because let's say everything changed, you get thrown into the desert or something like that. You have no family, no friends, not anything. You can't draw, you can't watch movies, you can't do anything like that. You know what you have? You have yourself. And if your mind is somewhere that you like to be and you trust yourself, you will be okay. Is that a short process, something you will be able to do overnight? Of course not. If you struggle with insecurities, it will take so much time, but it's worth it, trust me. I have experienced stuff in my life that affected the way I see myself. In my teenage years, I really grew up hating myself, but it's possible to learn how to love yourself. I am not there yet with the way I look, but I am pretty much there with the way I act. I have been able to morph my character and way I react to people, and I have grown as a person so much. The amount of grief and change I have experienced has made me very understanding of other people. I feel like I can relate and I can be an empath. I feel like going through a lot has kind of been my superpower also, because now I can help other people, even though I am not in the final goal myself, but maybe someday. Just don't feel embarrassed to seek comfort in anything you like. Don't feel judged, or you will probably feel judged because the norms of the society are very, very strict. Just know that there are loving people and loving communities. Like, for example, for a long time I thought I'm literally the only 20-year-old that still plays Star Stable. I'm like a weirdo. Turns out I am not. There is a lot of adults still playing this game who share the same feeling of comfort that I do, and that applies to almost every single community. There are people that will understand you, that will feel you. The truth is, you kind of have to learn to be okay with change, and that is very hard, especially for people that have experienced traumas and that have conditions that really make them struggle with change. And now I'm gonna step kind of into the grief territory. Some of the things I may say can be triggering, so watch. If you feel like you can handle some serious and deep thought, but if you feel anxious about death and something like that, I maybe would suggest you skip this part. But I experienced death very close from very young age, and I lost the person that was the one who brought me comfort and really helped me through everything. They were my everything, and especially when seasons change, it feels hard, because when the leaves turn to yellow and orange, all I can remember is all the falls we experienced together. When the first snowflakes come down to the sky, I remember how we tried to catch them in our tongues. Same goes with summer, all those lovely memories. It's hard for me. Holidays feels like torture because she was such a big part of them, and she's not anymore. I'm trying really hard not to cry. If you were to ask me how to handle grief, I would probably say I have no idea, because I struggle with it so much. But after long therapy sessions and long way of me feeling like there is absolutely nothing I can do to ever make living worth it again, I maybe can share some tips with you. I have had these moments when I was lying on the ground, so screaming and crying and telling my mother that just let me go, this doesn't seem worth it anymore. And she was always telling me to let it go, you will have to let it go. And I would scream at her back. I would say, I do not want to let her go. I already had to let her go physically. I will never let her go mentally. That was kind of like my mindset, that letting go meant that I cannot think about her. I cannot make her a big part of my every single day anymore. And I was upset. I was like, isn't it enough that she got taken away from me by the physical form. Now I also have to let her go in ways of thinking her. I was mad. Then my mother said something to me that kind of altered my brain, and she said to me that no, you do not need to let her go, you need to let the pain go. That was something that didn't even occur to me. I always thought that letting go meant not thinking about her, not feeling sad, but all she meant was I need to let go of the pain. People will tell you to let go and that it will go away, and I always got mad about that because I didn't want to heal. I didn't want it to go away because that would mean she goes away. I always got super mad when people told me that time heals wounds. That is a thing you will hear, and I was like, shut up, I do not want any wounds to heal because that will mean she goes away. But then I had this realization that they never meant that I need to stop thinking about her, stop talking about her. They only ever meant that I do not need to feel the deep sadness. Because what is so strange about grief is that it will make you do the craziest things. You kind of feel like you need to be sad. You will feel guilty about being happy. If sometimes when I'm happy, I get this terrible feeling that if she sees me and sees that I am happy here without her, that would make me want to throw up. So I kind of forced myself to be sad, or like trigger myself intentionally, because I felt like that's the only way I can really honor her. I felt guilty about still being here. I felt like the time I am here, I need to be sad. I need to show her that I really miss her. And that's weird because she wasn't the type of person to wish that upon anyone ever. I know if I could meet her one more time, she would tell me to live my life to the fullest, leave what she couldn't live. So it doesn't really make sense that I think about that. But what you will realize about grief is that it doesn't make sense. Nothing about it makes sense. Your brain changes itself when you experience too much sadness, and then it makes you think and do crazy things that don't make sense. You can't rationalize grief. You need to be okay with that. But realizing that I can talk about her and I can think about her without having necessarily to drive myself into madness kind of relieved me. Because all this time I thought my mother was saying to me that you need to forget about her. That was the core of everything I thought she was saying, but she really wasn't. I was just misinterpreting everything. I also am struggling to find the limit to what to say, but I am also an atheist. I don't necessarily believe in anything, and I have felt such a strong jealousy towards people who are religious, because I feel like they have a safety net of believing that they will meet them someday. Like if I was a Christian, I could strongly believe that it wasn't a goodbye, it was a see you later, and we could meet in heaven and we could spend our time together even when she died. But I can't think of that because I don't know if heaven's real. If you are religious, I respect you and I don't judge anyone by their beliefs. So don't get scared when I say I'm an atheist, and if you believe in something, that doesn't mean I think you're ridiculous or something like that. Because that is a big part of the struggle. I have never really felt envious of people who have a religion they rely on, but when you lose someone, you really start to miss the feeling of trusting in the life past death. Do I believe that everything ends? No, I can't believe that. If I would have believed that, I wouldn't be here, because I need to trust that I will see her someday. Kinda need to have some sort of hope, because if I don't, I start to lose the point of life, let's just say that. I don't know if I really can say I'm an atheist, because I do believe in spirits, because I swear there have been situations where I have felt her presence, also dreams. They hold so much power, and I have also kinda grown to hate dreams, because even though I can see her in my dreams, I also have to lose her again every single time when I wake up. That is something that destroys most of my days, because when I fall asleep, I meet her, we get together, everything is okay, and then I realize it's a dream. I wake up and I am thrown back into the terrible reality, and then it feels like losing her all over again. I'm so scared I'm gonna trigger someone. My mother kind of told me or taught me to not talk about this. She doesn't want to talk about my friend with her. I don't know why, but she gets skittish when I bring up her name, and she kind of told me that it's a personal thing, I shouldn't bring it up, and she always told me that she doesn't want it to become my whole personality, and she doesn't want me to start identifying myself with grief. And I see the point in that, but that isn't necessarily something you want to tell to a person that has experienced grief and loss a short time ago, because that will make them feel invalid. Their feelings will start to feel invalid to them. So what I want to say to you is, if you are experiencing sadness and if you feel like that is all you are, it doesn't mean it's your personality. Don't think that, okay? It's normal. Parents say stuff to protect their children that they don't think through. They say stuff that sounds terrible, but they don't necessarily mean it like that. I would at least hope my mother doesn't mean it like that. The thing is, she is such a big part of me. Even though she's gone, I feel the urge to talk about her a lot. And I have also realized that I can help people who feel grief because I have experienced that, and I have the power to say what I want to say. Freedom of speech, everyone. So if I want to, time to time, film a video with a serious topic where I talk about her and where I talk about grief, I can do that. My channel is still gonna be filled with mostly happy videos because I want my channel to work as an escape. I don't want it to become a sob channel. So most of my videos are gonna be happy videos about Star Stable and stuff like that. But from time to time, I get the urge to talk about something serious, and I really should have the opportunity to do that because it might help someone. And if someone doesn't want to face serious subjects, they don't need to. As I said, I will put in the title of this video what I'm gonna talk about, and if it doesn't feel good to you, you do not need to watch it, okay? And in fact, maybe you shouldn't if these types of things trigger you. I mainly make these videos for people who struggle with the things I am talking about, because oftentimes you will feel alone and you will start to feel like you're the only person in the whole wide world going through that situation, even though you're really not. So maybe there's someone out there who's struggling with change, who has recently lost someone that they truly cared about, and they feel like, I don't understand why I feel that way, no one else must feel that way. And then they would see a video that describes how they feel and make them feel seen, and that's the purpose. That's all I can do, really. This is not at all how I planned my birthday video to be. I thought I'd do happy shopping is free. Still might do that, TBH, but it's life. Sometimes we get an urge to talk about more serious things and get some weight off our hearts, and this was what felt more like me to do today. It felt almost fake to turn on the recording and pretend all happy and sunshines and rainbows, go buy horses. It would have felt fake. I don't want to be fake. Today I feel like this, and today I felt like doing a video like this, and that's fine. This stingray is so cute. I'm just watching it jump and twirl, and it's making me happy. On a less serious topic, the Andalusians are coming out, and I will be making a video of them. I feel like the excitement of them has kind of been ruined by them releasing basically everything, so there's like nothing really to see. I know their gates, I know how they look, I know the codes, stuff like that, but of course I'm still excited. Also, what's up with the bazaars? There was literally bazaar like a couple of weeks ago, and now there's bazaar again. When they started doing bazaars every month, I thought that was so frequent. I was like, wow, should you really do bazaars that often? But now they are starting to release bazaars like every other week or stuff like that, and that's just crazy work. That kind of takes away of the pleasure of bazaars for me. I like them to be rare occasion where we gather and buy discounted horses, and that's so rare and that's so fun. But if there are bazaars all the time, it's kind of like ruins the vibe. But of course, star coins are expensive, and people who cannot afford them get a chance to buy horses on the bazaars, so I do realize that aspect also. Just feel like cheapening the star coin prices would be the more reasonable thing to do, or jacking up our weekly allowance. What am I talking about? This started like a very serious topic, and now I'm just yapping about Starcoin prices. Why do I always get here? I don't know how long I have talked. Not that long. I was kind of like quick with my words this time. But Ruby is level 10. Our cute fit is as cute as ever, and I want to go eat sushi today because it's my favorite food and I want to enjoy something nice when it's my birthday. So I'm gonna go eat sushi and hope this video did more good than bad. Let's just say that. Sincerely sorry if I traumatized some of you, but
my camera won't stay still. Stay.
if you really listened through this whole ramble, thank you. Sincerely, thank you. And I will see you Wednesday with Danu and Illusions, probably with a bit happier vibes, at least I hope so. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe and take care of yourself. I love you. Bye bye.